Well, it's Thursday morning, and it is just a marvelous day. It's going to be 75 today. And no wind, no snow. I decided I should go fishing. So I just passed through Rochester. I stopped for about 10-15 minutes to charge up a little bit, and I went and grabbed a couple things to drink, a coffee and a Diet Coke. Got back in the car, waited about 5 minutes and unplugged, and I've been 150 miles now. So I gained 50 miles in about 15 minutes, which is awesome. So I have plenty of juice to drive around and chase the elusive trouts. So I got all the equipment in here. I got my fly rods, my hip waders. I got a license. Got to have that, you know. And I got my fishing hat, my official fishing hat. So we'll see if we can catch some trouts. But I just passed through Rochester, went by the infamous Mayo Clinic. And this is Highway 52. And pretty soon here it turns into a scenic road. I like to take this route. This is the route I take, kind of. This is the route I take when I'm on my motorcycle. I don't usually go through Rochester. I take the side roads. But once we get on the county road part of this, it gets really nice. It's woodsy and curvy, and it's really great for motorcycle riding. And you'll see that when we get to that point. So I'm going to try Chatfield first. Chatfield is kind of my go-to place that has the Trout Run Creek. And there's about, 10 or 15 miles of public fishing rights that are allowed there. So I don't even have to get in the water. I can actually walk along the shore. This time of year is great because there's no weeds. Later on in the year, you have to almost get in the water because the weeds are so high, you'll snag everything on your back cast, unless you do a steeple cast or something like that, which, if I knew how to do it, would be great, but, I'm not real proficient yet. I've only been doing this for a couple hundred years, I'm a slow learner. So anyway, we'll try Trout Run Creek. Do a little bit there. I might go down by the Bucksnort Dam, which is the same creek, but it's just further south. Might try that area. And I might run over to Preston, which is the trout fishing capital of Minnesota. And I have caught fish in some of the streams by Preston, so I might give that a whirl too. And we'll see what happens. And as far as the car goes, everything's just lovely. What a wonderful drive. The only thing could be better is if it was later on in the year and it was a consistent 70 to 90 degrees. Riding a motorcycle now it'd be fine, but a little chilly, especially early and late. So I decided to take the car. I don't have the motorcycle out yet. I think that's coming out. Well, we're going to have another cold spree here, so it might be a couple weeks, a week or a couple weeks. But once I get the motorcycle out, I think I'll be doing a lot more chasing around with that. And then the old electric car here will be put to rest for a little bit. So, we'll catch up with you here in a little bit when I get into the more scenic areas. Okay, this is Marion. This is right off... I was on Interstate 90 going through Rochester, then it switched over to 52. So this is County Road 52 or State Highway 52, one of those. A little motorcycle shop off here to the right. Ironworks, as I imagine they work on Harleys mainly. Kind of a scenic little area though. It's like I say, it's kind of woodsy in here, and it's curvy. Excellent motorcycle road. I'm about 10 miles from Chatfield, and Chatfield is where I will be heading toward Trout Run. This is getting into the southeastern corner of Minnesota, which is, or southern Canada, however you want to claim it. But this is a real scenic area. It's just a great place to, if nothing else, just to chase around and enjoy the scenery. Of course, now the trees are nothing but sticks. But once they get all greened up and everything, this is just a beautiful area. And the further we get into the south here, the better the roads are, the more scenic. You get down by Rushford and Brownsville and some of those. Little Miami, that's a little snowmobile stop. Yeah, we used to snowmobile a lot out in this area. This is called the Bluff Country. And it's the closest thing you can get to, the windies and the twisties of some of the other states. Between Stumbroda and Wabasha, there's about 25 miles of really curvy road, really curvy. And a lot of elevation changes. That's a fun road. Probably one of the best in this general area. Most people run up north. They go fishing up north. Black's Lake is, and some of the big fishing spots. I prefer going down south, mainly because I stream fish. I don't really lake fish that much. I don't enjoy it near as much. There's something. It's weird. When it's 85, 90 degrees out, the absolute worst place to be is in a boat. You get the reflection off the water. You're like sitting in a oven. You'd think that being on the lake would be the nicest place you could be, but it's just the opposite. Now you get down into the streams here, and in really hot weather, standing in the stream is really cool. For one thing, the water is like 50 degrees or less, and your legs are cooled off because you're probably knee deep or better, and you get the cold air off the water. Oh, it's just, I can't tell you how much fun it is. The only thing that could be any better would be catching a fish. That doesn't happen a lot. It does happen. I've been known to catch fish, believe it or not, but few and far between. I'm going to try something different now, though. This time of year, you usually fish nymphs, so I'm going to do a dropper where I run a dry fly, and about 16 inches below that I'll run a nymph, and we'll see which one they bite on. And this time of year, sometimes you cast downstream instead of upstream, or normally what I do is cast across and let the water take the rig down with it, and when the nymph starts to rise, that's when the fish usually hit. We'll see. The mayfly hatch is a ways off yet, but what do fish know? I don't think they watch the news. I hope not, otherwise there'll be a revolt. They'll be watching Fox. Ugh. Now there is a crazy person that lives here. I'll see if I can figure out. I think it's just down the road here a little bit. I don't know if this guy got dropped on his head when he was born or what happened, but he's quite crazy. We'll see. I think we're coming up on his place here pretty soon. I'll make sure I get the camera turned that way so we can get a nice view of his radical craziness. Yeah, he's got his signs out. There you go. This is what crazy people do. Yeah, that's just nuts. Every time we drive by there, he's got more signage up, and he's got, thanks for putting us first. USA first, Trump. And here's Trump buying everything from China. Well, we got a motorcycle in front of me. Been seeing a few of those out. I really got to get mine out. It's kind of buried in the back of a trailer right now. my golf cart and my motorcycle are in my trailer next to my house, and there's a camper in the way, and oh God, it's just, if it ain't one thing, it's two. I gotta get that thing out though. Now tomorrow's supposed to be 75. We're going golfing tomorrow, so that'll be fun. Be our first round of golf. I don't know if we're gonna play 9 or 18. Depends how wet my feet get, because it's gonna be soggy. And then we go in the dumpster for a while, so we'll put all the fun stuff on hold again for a little bit, but I'm getting kind of pumped. Oh, he's taking a left here. A little Sportster. So I'm just coming up on Chatfield. Oh, I think we're about maybe 3-4 miles away at this point. It's a nice town. Kind of a nice town, a little country town. Then there's Rushford and Houston and Caledonia. Well, these are all small towns. Lanesboro is a nice town. They seem to be, during the election thing, you can kind of tell which towns are the ones you want to live in because of the signage. Like Cannon Falls is just absolutely redneck idiot. A lot of Trump signs there. You don't see that many in this area except for the one moron back here. But there is a smattering of Trumpers, and maybe these people figured it out that they're just getting reamed by this guy. But if you're in a cult and you watch Fox News nonstop, there's not too much salvation for you. You're gonna die ignorant and poor. That's just the way it is. Just like, did you know that 24 of the lowest 25 states as far as education are red states? 24 out of 25. And they keep voting for Republicans. Now, what sense does that make? It's kind of like the guy, I don't know if that was an officer in The Gentleman, where the guy goes, "Thank you, drill sergeant, can I have more?" Yeah. Idiots. Alright, just coming into Chatfield, and we'll get halfway through town and I hang a left and head out to the creek. I was out here one day several years ago geocaching, and I reached underneath the bush to grab the geocache, and I poked myself in the eye with a little twig, and I cut my eye a little bit. And I tell you what, I drove 100 miles, a little over 105 miles from here. Drove 105 miles with one eye shut on the motorcycle. And I tell you, that was terrible. If you ever injured an eye, it's quite painful. So I went to the doctor, and he gave me this miracle thing that you dab on your eye, some drop, and I was instantly relieved of pain. It was just marvelous. But I had to put a drop in there about every 3 hours. And then after a day or two, it all cleared up. That's one nice thing, is eye injuries heal fast. But boy, they're no fun. So I'm very careful now not to poke myself like that. You live in your loin. Alright, here's where I hang a left. A lot of traffic today for a Thursday. But this is kind of a main road here, Highway 52, so I guess, it's going to be busy. I got the amber flashing arrow, but there's all these cars. Tell them to move. There we go. And we're by the Root River. The Root River is kind of a main thing here. Got the Zumbro and the Root. Both good fishing spots. The root, I think, is a little bit better, maybe. You know, most of these streams, these little trout streams, empty into the root. So it stands to reason that there'd be fishies everywhere. Somebody put a great big hole right there. Oh, I got a little stretch of gravel here. That's the only bad part of this. If I was to own this property here, is you got about a mile of gravel. So your cars will never ever be clean. Well, I guess you get home, you clean them, but if you don't move, they stay clean, but as soon as you move, they're not clean. That's the downside of living on gravel. Oh, it's wet. Really wet. They must have had some leakage from the bank here. Let's see if there's any cars here. No cars. I'm the only one on the stream today. Okay, the property's straight up ahead. That's the thing I was looking at buying. There's one on the right, and then there's a nice double wide on the left there. That whole thing was for sale. It's dirt cheap. Isn't that something? Yeah, there'd be a nice area here. Oh, and the stream looks awesome. Well, that was a bust. I did the Trout Run Creek, and I got skunked. Lost a couple flies, mainly because of trees. They put trees right in the way. So I lost 3 flies there. And then I tried another little Watson's Creek over here, and I didn't even see a trout in this one. I did see a couple trouts in Trout Run, but boy, they just weren't even looking at the bait. I tried wet, tried dry, tried a couple different variations, and I didn't even get a sniff. So that's my failure for the first time out this season. I got skunked. Well, maybe the next time I go out, I'll catch a few. There, make that a little more bigger. There's a spot down here which I could try, but it requires me to crawl on my belly under an electric fence, and it's the creek I was just in. So I think I'll just bypass that one. Yeah, so I'm gonna pull the plug. It's a done deal. I got defeated by a fish. I'm dumber than a fish. So I'm gonna head for home. I'm gonna have to charge a little bit. I think when I get back to Rochester at the Circle K again, I'll stick a little juice in it, not much, and then I'm done. Ugh. It would have been fun to catch a fish, but not today.